All right, so if I get everybody kind of back together here, hopefully you use your time wisely and you're feeling pretty decent about this vocab. Obviously, if you are not, you have until tomorrow. So keep working on things, keep working on Quizlet. And that's probably the easiest place to practice. You can do a self quiz there, you can do flashcards, you can do games. So keep working on it. What I want to do now is kind of switch gears. I want to talk about Sayre and Ear again for a few minutes because that is also a focal point of your quiz tomorrow. So in a second here, I'm going to ask you to jot down your forms. But before that, we do that, let's do a quick refresh on what these verbs mean. So somebody give me a quick volunteer here. What is Sayre? What does Sayre mean? What does Sayre mean? Morgan?
To be.
To be, great. And what does it mean in the past tense? Because of course we're talking about preterite right now. So what does it mean in the past tense? Because you're not saying I am or you are or he or she is. We're saying what?
I was, I went.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Morgan. Say it again.
Oh, I said I was, I went.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if he was talking to me or not.
I wasn't specifically, but you before, so yes, that's fine. So yes, so I was or you were is what we're talking about. All right, then we also have been working on the verb ear. So what does the verb ear mean? Mention I'm giving you a participation grade tomorrow. Get your hand up if you can. What does the verb ear mean?
To go.
Yeah, thanks, Bryson. It means to go. Good. So in the past tense, what am I talking about? What am I talking about? Not I go, you go, he goes, but I, Sylvia? Went. You went. He went. All right. Now, the good news is the forms of this are the same in the preterite tense. So you only need to learn 5 words, and then you have learned 2 different verbs. So if you would please, we did this yesterday, and I said if you didn't have it yesterday, that's okay, but let's make sure we can do it today. So if you would please grab a piece of paper and jot down your forms of Sayre and Ear, kind of treat this as a little self-quiz. See how you're coming along. So like write down the yo form and the to form and the el form and the nosotros form and the ellos form. So I will pause for a moment here. See if you can do that. I will give you one hint. The first letter is an F. So see if that helps spark your memory. I would rather you try to do this from memory than looking it up. Like I said, it's like a little self-quiz. Okay, if the quiz was today, would you know all your forms? That's what you're asking yourself. All right, be looking for some volunteers here, preferably some new hands. Otherwise, I'll start calling around. Again, as always, if you get your camera on, I feel like we were doing really well on that. And now I have probably less than half of you with your cameras on. So I appreciate those of you that do have them on. If you can get it on, get it on. Hey, get it on, get it on, get it on. Helps you focus. We're not going to go all period today. All right, so who's got, I don't know, the first 1 or 2 forms of Sayre or Ear in the preterite? Noah, what you got?
Is it few and few stay?
Okay. So I'm going to put those up. We'll remind you how to say them. You did pretty well there. So we've got yo fui to fuiste. All right. So if you did not get the other forms, maybe that will help you spark your memory and you can get a few more right now. Okay. We had fui and fuiste. Nick, you want to go from there?
El fue, el fuimos, and ellos fueron.
Okay. So fue, fuimos, and fueron. All right. Before I hold this up one more time and you check your work, somebody else raise your hand and tell me how many accents should you see on these verbs? How many accents would I expect to see, Victoria?
0.
0 is correct. All right, so here they are. All right, check your spelling. Fui, F-U-I, fuiste, fue, fuimos, and fueron. All right, check your spelling, see how they look. I would say the most common problem is people confuse the yo form and the el form. Okay, so fui comes first. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, and then fueron does not have an I in it. Pay attention there. Okay, your normal endings do, but this is, of course, irregular. All right, I'm going to say it for you. I would love for you to repeat it. I guarantee there'll be some questions in the speaking portion of your final that we work on next week with this verb. So let's make sure you know how to say it. All right, repitan. Yo fui. Tú fuiste. Él fue. Nosotros fuimos. Ellos fueron. All right, I'm going to say them all. See if you can do it. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. You try it. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. Can you do it without looking? Say it in your head or say it out loud. Okay, that's what you need to be able to do. Any questions on this verb? It's actually 2 verbs for the price of 1. How many people are feeling pretty good about this verb, these 2 verbs? We good? We think we know them? Yes? Okay. I mean, if not, you got 1 more day, but you need to know this guy. He's not going to go away. He comes up all the time. All right. So is everybody clear on what to expect on your quiz tomorrow? I'm never one that wants to surprise you. Oh, I will say this, speaking of not wanting to surprise you. All right, so it's vocab, these 2 verbs. I would not be surprised if I saw maybe a regular AR verb and a regular ER and IR verb, okay, to make sure you haven't forgotten your normal endings, hace, o, amos, aro, or iste, io, imos, ieron, okay? So again, hint, hint, I would not be surprised if you saw a couple regular verbs and maybe even a car, gar, zar verb stuck in there to see if you notice it, all right? So speaking of, let me show you your notes, and then I'm going to show you the one last thing we're going to look at. It is not on your quiz, okay, but that'll kind of take us into next week. So if you want to go to, or you can just look with me, I'll screen share, on your current lesson today, under number 3, it says intro notes, hacer, estar, tener, poder. It says for after the quiz tomorrow. So after the quiz tomorrow, I am going to give you one last textbook activity to practice these 4 verbs. I am not going to have time to quiz you over these 4 verbs, but I want you to look at them and practice them and kind of know they exist. And then we'll hit them next semester. But I want you to at least see them because I just kind of ran out of time a little bit here. It's not a big deal. But I want you to at least see them. So when I show you these notes, the notes are useful because it's the same notes that most of your quiz is on. And then it's just this one little bit at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share. They are on your current lesson if you want to pull them up on your own later. So here's what you should be looking at. Okay, look with me. So this is the notes that I've given you before. The preterite, completed actions in the past. Here are your AR endings. Hace, o, amos, aron. Like I said, probably see 1 or 2 of those on there. Iste, io, imos, ieron. You'll probably see 1 or 2 of those on there. Car, gar, zar. Wouldn't be surprised if I stuck 1 or 2 of those on there. Okay, that's all old stuff. Here's our new verb that we've worked on all week. You'll definitely see fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, and fueron on there. And then look, here are your 4 new ones. You will not see these on your quiz tomorrow. Let me say that again. You will not see these on your quiz tomorrow. This is for after the quiz. You will notice I have 4 irregular verbs. Okay, hacer, I did, poder, I could, tener, I had, and estar, I was or were. And that's, of course, for a feeling or location. So you will see that these are all funky and irregular. At this point, I just want you to have them. You can do a little practice with them, and then we'll come back to them on Monday and do a little talking about them. But I figured if you wanted to get ahead, here they are. It says you're going to memorize the yo form and the new endings, at least, even though they're all irregular, they are the same. So a, iste, o, imos, ieron. But again, this is not on your quiz tomorrow. This is for after the quiz. Everything above that dotted line is fair game for your quiz tomorrow. So I figured I might as well just give you this document now. Does that make sense to everybody? Don't get confused. Okay, well, the last thing that I want to give you then today is a chance to work on one last practice. It is an exit ticket if you want to go ahead to your current lesson now. we can look at real quick together, and then I'll let you go finish it. It won't take you very long. It's a good little review for your quiz tomorrow. So hopefully you waited and you didn't already do it, because it should be kind of an open note thing, but it should be a good review for tomorrow. So just asking, what does ser mean? What does ear mean? And then a bunch of examples conjugating ser and ear. You'll notice I did throw on comprar and enviar, some regular AR verbs. And then there's an ER verb also on there, just to remind you about those. So 10 questions, 10 points. That should be how you finish up class today. I am happy, as long as you see that and you are working on it, to say hasta luego. If you have any individual questions, stick around and ask. Otherwise, do your exit ticket right now, and I will put it in the grade book. All right. Hasta luego. Stick around if you have any questions, or you can come at 10:30 too.